Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to week 6 of the 2025 Zelda 1 Randomizer tournament. We have a really nice 4-1 matchup between Big Slamu and BrewersFanJP. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Fury SK. How you doing, Fury?
Well, I'm ready to go with these two runners kind of fighting it out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if either one of them is in Hawaii for the afternoon, but definitely early evening for a couple of these guys. I think they are West Coast bound.
I want to say JP is Midwest, but Slamu, yeah, I'm not sure. I want to say normally Arizona, but but yeah. Both of them, yeah, we're 4-1. We're getting towards the end. This is just for seeding, so the winner is going to get a higher seed. The loser will still be in the brackets. JP having gone 4-0, lost last week to Tabby. Vic Slamu lost to Cafe a couple weeks ago, having gone 3-0. But yeah, I mean, bragging rights, seeding, whatever you want to say. Yeah, this is definitely a matchup that they're both going to want to win.
Yeah, I was talking it over for the last half hour with one of the 3-2 runners discussing what the difference was between 4-2 and 3-3. I pointed out that on several occasions, we have matchups with, let's say, Angel FM and Third Wolf coming up later this week.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to be 3-3, and someone
Yep.
at the top is probably going to get them. So
Yep.
your seeding is only as good as the opponent you just happen to draw in that seeding, and it could be
Yeah. Yeah.
someone that you consider really good, or someone that you don't know much about. You just never know.
Immediate heart is nice. And of course, without extra candles, we're going to grab that heart. Also, this is one of the worst spots to start at.
Yep, there are a few that can be worse with the overworld enemies being shuffled. Vanilla 6 comes to mind. Recorder Lake with the Wizrobes below you is always fun.
Speaking of Wizrobes, we got
Yep,
Moblins and Wizrobes on the overworld, which is kind of an interesting pair. I like having Wizrobes in the overworld and not having to deal with them in the dungeons. Moblins are nice to have in the dungeons because they're easy in dungeons, but on the other hand, they're a good bomb dropping source, so it's not so bad to have them on the overworld either.
Yep, I thought for a second JP was going to do the world wrap just to see that coast item, but looks to be set on checking some of these caves and probably going towards the Grave Armos looking for that Armos item. So we'll have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, I know that's a play you like. It's a play I like too, although I prefer it when I'm actually starting on that screen. But getting that information early is kind of nice, and then when you're over there in the northeast, you don't have to worry about routing that in quite as quickly. We do get an open stair. Of course, it's level 3, so it's probably segmented. Yep.
I've grumbled enough about why it is. It just is what it is these days.
Yep. And nothing more we can do in here unless he wants to take that stair. Meanwhile, Slam is going to do overworld exploration in the start area. Probably going to hit the Death Armor, see if that's the item.
Yeah, I think JP, if you at least get like a key or a bomb pack or even the Triforce for free, well, that's not going to help. But like if you get anything, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm a
Not going
big
to be able.
fan of getting the bomb pack. Like, give me a bomb pack here, you know?
All right, we're done there. Almost had the second quest level 3 vibes going there with the far left side staircase.
All right, 32 for our mid-secret is pretty good. Not the super nice, above 35, you get the 39.40, but we should be able to afford anything we want to get. So then we're finding level 1. I like level 1 a little bit better. There's a little higher likelihood you can find something for free on the floor with 2 items. On the floor, 1 in the stair. Of course, you could also run into key doors and just be done. We're going to spend a key. We're going to use... he's thinking about it.
Whatever you do, up A, and then decide. I am all for saving a rupee boss at level 1 that's only 2 rooms in. It's a little bit further than you'd like. You'd like it 1 room in, but 2 rooms in. Honestly, I would have just gone for the candle. to be honest. I think that's probably the play I would have made, but
Mhm.
maybe we'll get another medium secret along the way, and we can go back for it.
All right, so our Armos item is going to be to the east. We do find an any key. Oh, and it's at 4 hearts. Do you just go right back to level 1? Not without a
No.
sword. Not without a sword.
I mean, you get lucky in there and find like White Sword or 1,
Yep.
progress easily. Otherwise, without a candle, you can't kill anything, so you're
Right.
eventually going to get stuck.
But it is going to be a place where I would expect him to go very early once he does have some sort of weaponry, most likely the sword. But we never know. That Armos item could be something useful. Or the sword could be right here. Open desert cave.
I still think Slam is going to go looking for the Armos item before running back to 1, but on first side of Armos item or side of Blue Wizards, that absolutely send him back. I think
the next up
A.
A. Whatever the up A is, I think the next up A, you go straight to 1 if you're Slim. We can get a bomb off of these blue moblins. I think they're 4 HP, so at least they'll go down to white magic sword damage, but not super squishy like you'd like. Another heart for Slamu. JP finds level 1. They'll have the same decision to make here.
Yeah, we'll see if JP decides to save the rupee boss and kind of work his way up to, I guess it would be 72 rupees. Nope.
Hint shop. Can't do that yet. We could do it yet. You're not going to be happy with the results. And a book on the coast. So that's an interesting bit of convenience.
Yeah, I think that's 113 rupees you need when you go get the book to be able to get all 3 right then and there. And with the world wrap, you actually could save with 113 rupees, go across, get the book, get those 3 hints, retry, and then get the book again. Yeah,
I don't think that'd be a bad play at all. We do have a recorder as the Armos item now with wood sword blocks not on. That's not nearly as interesting as it could be. Although we will check recorder spots on the way. The wood sword would not be behind that. Of course, we've already found the wood sword. JP hasn't. And big large secret, 146.
Alright, so what are we going to buy?
Candle, arrows. Don't know if either one. I don't know that I've seen Slamu buy a blue ring in this tournament. I know JP will consider it. I don't know if we've seen one yet, though.
Meanwhile, JP has found the Wizards on the Vanilla 1 screen, guarding another secret, so able to get in there without dying, and we'll see if we can get all the way off of there and head east towards the sword. Looks like okay for now.
Yeah, let's hope he does. Oh, that lever had it out for him. I do hope he gets to that open desert cave. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere. It is one of those caves that people sometimes miss. We do get to find out our Triforces. We're in level 9. What do we got? Ooh, the full 8.
It's no gambling.
Level 6 for Slamu. Let's see how much of this he decides to do. Candle for JP.
With the any key, it's an interesting call to make for JP. Might just go into level 1, see how far you can get. Wow, Red Lionel's rolling way down.
That's always nice, especially since they're health droppers, and of the health droppers, they seem to actually be the ones that actually remember that they're health droppers the most.
Yeah, the good news about this is if you can get this Triforce early, you can always just flute to level 9 with full health.
Yeah. Of course, it being 8 Triforces, there's no reason necessarily not to do this right now. I guess it depends on the enemy set, but so far the enemy set's not too bad. And we'll have a stair item in here. Because that is a heart. JP gets himself a bomb drop with the candle from the blue Octorok, so that's nice. Someone's gonna hope to get some bombs from these Gibdos.
Well, you know what the secret to getting the bomb pack for the Gibdos is?
Already have bombs?
Having max bombs, max inventory bombs, yes.
Yeah.
Not sure what the blue Lionel's roll, but we're not going to find out immediately.
Oh, there's the Triforce. This could be a super room.
I would be inclined to take the Triforce if it's not a super room.
Oh yeah, same. Especially with that recorder.
Might still go for a bomb pack. Nah, gonna give up on it. I don't know if there's another way to go back inside, like right at the entrance, but I don't think we're gonna find out.
I mean, it's level 6. Level 6 is the biggest of the small dungeons and can be the biggest dungeon. Although usually, it's actually pretty rare that it does roll bigger than 9, but it can happen. And we've seen a lot of really small 9s in this tournament. So yeah, we don't even have a map. So leaving level 6 to me makes a lot of sense, especially with that recorder to go back to it anytime we want. Let's find some any rows on JP's side. We get to lose a power bracelet spot. Careful, JP.
Ooh, that's an expensive pity heart there.
Yeah, if it was a cheap one, I'd be inclined to buy it right now at half a heart. I think Slim was going to leave some of that money on the table at 146.
JP not thrilled with the prospects of clearing that spot that he got sent to on the any road.
Yeah, and then you have to clip back in too, because it is the power bracelet spot that's up near the grave. Slemu finds level 2, immediately blocked by a Gliok. Fortunately, it's only 2 heads.
Yeah, I really think JP now is going to go into one. Got sent back to start. It's time to take the easy dungeon that's nearby.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. And there he is. Get a Guria set over here in this level 2. That could be good for bomb droppers for Slemu.
I'm a little surprised JP didn't take the time to clear the likes. It's more than likely going to be the map unless it's shuffled a early item, compass, or Triforce up there.
So Slemu gets a heart in 2, gets the Triforce in 2, and I think he needs bombs to do anything else. Not sure there were any open doors he skipped. We do have these blue Octoroks that you can farm for bombs. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we can reset them as many times as we want.
JP, knowing that the room here drops in the bottom right middle, is going to try and kill this off. We'll get the map.
Oh, there's your map.
That makes that entry room interesting now, because it's got to have something there to have forced it this deep.
Alright, so I move back into 2 with bombs. This could be a drop or a push for JP. Slemu picks the right bomb hole and gets a map.
Yeah, worth noting, Red Guria are up to 5, so it's a +2 roll there.
I always hate it when those guys roll all the way up to 5. Can't even kill him with a silver arrow. There's a power bracelet for JP, which you know, it's a nice to be determined item. Might be hugely important or might be a bunch of wasted time. We already lost 2 power bracelet spots to any roads.
Yeah, you're not guaranteed any additional power bracelet spots. You might get the staircase item now, though. Might be something good, or it might be a heart container where you have to search the other floor spot.
And of course, it's the heart container.
Could be Coast Heart, I guess, but for now we're just going to assume it's the Dungeon Heart.
Yeah, I always assume it's the dungeon heart until it's proven otherwise. These dungeons these guys are in right now is especially important to track those hearts because it's very easily to lose track if you don't when you have dungeons that have 2 floor items. And I think I would go up through the key door instead of killing the legs for the shutter first. Like lizard. Okay, he's just gonna leave 1. You can come back for it. Okay, now maybe I do the legs. Those land moves. I might just run past it though.
Yeah, if you feel like they're gonna attack you no matter what it is, we see an even worse land mole screen on the left.
Yeah.
If you feel like that's going to be the case, then what you do is you enter the room and then you turn around, blue candle yourself forward, and you can iframe and walk the rest.
Yeah, that land movement for Slemu is that's a tough one. With the bomb hole, you can't even do a safety door strat there.
I'm not sure what JP's looking at in that room. I mean, even if you clear that room, you can't get the item. Might as well keep walking up and skip this room.
There's a Triforce for JP. I could see bailing on this level 2 for Slemu. Maybe come back with full health with that recorder. He's going to keep trying it.
Well. Yep, that is Slemu. Can get a little bit stubborn sometimes.
Another rupee boss, but this one we're not going to save.
Yeah, I'm like dead set on that entry room.
Alright, Slemu gets through the land modes. It's going to hope that that's not where the item is. We got some much easier stealthos to deal with instead.
Alright, JP, you gonna clear that first room of the dungeon? What are we gonna do here?
Ah, ladder for Slemu. That's a really nice find. We got 255 rupees, so I imagine after he does whatever he's going to finish doing up in this area, which will probably end... Well, he's got 2 bombs, so I don't know. He's going to have 6 bombs. He just got a nice drop. So he could do the ladder spots, and he could do the, the screen scroll over to the, to Vanilla 5 and all that stuff. But next time he up A's, I think go get that book, do that 1 set of hints, and like you said, go ahead and retry and get the book again, and then maybe he goes back and goes into level 1. Red candle for JP. Would have been nicer to get that earlier.
Is what it is. We have plenty of money.
That's right. Well, no, I think JP had bought the candle. Slemu has not, and we find level 5 here for Slemu.
Yeah, I'm just saying in terms of the large secret being what it is, not a huge deal that we bought the blue candle.
So the one it is a bit of a shame though. The Slemu is in this level 5 without the book. There's always going to be 3 old men. Of course, one of them's should be a bomb upgrade. But there could be some hints here that he's going to miss. But yeah, it's also on the other hand, you don't really want to leave when you're just right here, for the potential of maybe you get something useful. Maybe you don't even see it.
Yep. There's at least likely to be 2 hints in here. The third one being the bomb upgrade most of the time, especially if the other 2 are the hints. Oh, it's a tough call. Maybe with the flute, I think I probably would have just gone for the play and gone to 1, but again, you can just keep routing whichever way, and it'll pay off sometimes too.
There's another hand. We'll probably go back for that in a second.
Well, he's got full bombs, so he's going to get that bomb pack, of course.
Of course. Nice fairy, though. JP's gonna put that power bracelet to use. Oh my god. So 3 power bracelet spots. Or any roads. Which, I mean, in vanilla, there's 4 of them.
And one of these days he'll get all 4 of them on a rando seed.
It's not random percent words, 50% were just normal, so. JP gets his, I think that's his first large secret, so.
Yeah.
There's the map to 5, and we get a magic sword. Way too early to even consider checking it, though.
And with this sizing of 5, I think that probably means level 6 is going to be comparable, or not as huge as it could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a pretty big 5. Also, lots of key doors, so it's really nice we have that any key. I often think of 5 as the place to go to get keys, but not in this seed. $14 rupee bombs is not bad. Of course, the nice thing for JP having both the recorder and the power bracelet already. I'm gonna get this bomb upgrade. We'll still be able to afford the hints, and it is a +6, so very nice. But yeah, he's gonna be able to route all the power bracelet and recorder spots at the same time. And another item is gonna be in the stair.
Unlikely to see what that hint is ever. I mean, it's all the way in the back, so even if JP comes in here later, it's going to be a long walk. This room can't be a staircase, so we pass it up.
And we don't care about drops anymore. This one, of course, can be.
JP now going to find out about the hint shop being here, just barely. And then is going to see that the coast item is set up perfectly for it.
Double heart 5.
Magnesite.
Woohoo! I mean, Slammo could do the dream, right, is to happen upon Magic Sword and just be able to pick it up because you already have enough hearts for it, so it could happen.
Yep, I think he does not know where it's at. I think JP's the one that knows.
Yeah, Slammo hasn't seen it yet, so he'll happen upon it with enough hearts to at least try it. Did he see the Triforce already? He's kind of moving like he knows where it is.
Possibly. Or just knows where the rooms are that he hasn't cleared as we find 8.
Yeah, that could be it too. I think he's done that entire little wing there. JP's going right into 8. And he's gonna probably leave right away because with that river now there could be some bomb holes. We're gonna try it out.
Yeah, for JP's sake, you're hoping that there aren't. Well, we did find one.
There's the Triforce. And red ring in 8. That's really nice for JP. That is a terrible screen to get through to get to this.
Well, at least JP's not going to struggle getting through these screens anymore for the most part. That's the good news about the 8 dive.
Yeah, pick up that letter. Always like to see the letter picked up. There's that last large seeker for Big Slamoo. I'm gonna leave a whole lot of that on the table. With 9 bombs, he might even just stay in this whole Death Mountain area. Is instead gonna hit these 2 spots, the Forgotten Spot and the one east of the Forgotten Spot. Yeah, and chat rightly pointing out that when JP gets to 1, that red ring is gonna help him get through that land mow a lot easier than Slamoo got through it.
It just has to head the direction of that dungeon, and once JP gets to 2, yeah, as you mentioned, we'll make it through there just fine. And yeah, that's kind of what's going to hold JP back for a little bit, so let's hope he gets there to kind of make up some ground. Slamoo, who's, I would say, got the early lead, although there's plenty of time.
Yeah, just gonna clean up this grave area, and this could be... I would expect to see an up A back to start, and, at least, do some plays with the book relatively soon. He'll probably buy a candle, too, before getting the one in level 1, which is a little unfortunate, but there's not a lot we're gonna need to spend money on. Actually, the way he's moving around, I wonder if he's not even going to bother safe scumming those hints, just going to pick up the book and just buy them, and just continue his route from there.
Hard to say. For all we know, he's just not even thinking about the book anymore.
Yeah, it could be. Does need to be a little more careful with these Gibdos, though. They're not difficult to kill, but they do take a lot of hits, and they are 2 hearts of damage to touch. So we're gonna see what's in level 3. JP finds level 9. He's gonna find out the bad news that it's all 8 Triforces. Did he actually stay in there long?
Yes, he did.
JP heading into level 6. Be interesting with that red ring, maybe he stays a little deeper into this level 6 than Slamoo did. We don't know what the item is in here. Wand for Slamoo, that's a really nice find.
Yeah, JP was in here without any combat at all, so didn't see that wand underneath the enemies. And it's going to give Slamoo some more speed in these dungeons, as the Whiz Robes are the only thing you can't hurt in there on the overworld.
And gets the heart container as well, so when he finds Magic Sword, he's going to have at least a 40% chance of picking it up. Little unfortunate with the up A, because he's going to up A he's going to walk right into that Patra, and if he kept the health, he would have had a much better shot at getting through it. This room won't drop, so he doesn't have to kill it, he just needs to get around it. And it won't drop because it's a staircase. Either it can be a drop or a stair, it's never going to be both. Good fairy in the next room, though. So those, like I said, red Lionels, they like to actually remember that they're actually health droppers, unlike blue Dark Nuts and blue Gorilla. JP doing nice work with that red candle, though. Love the red candle strats on the on things like Gibdos and likes and even Lionels. Now this room's not going to drop in 3. There's no reason to be killing these Poles voice.
I'm just getting this practice in.
Compass for Slamu, so we won't be spending much more time in this dungeon.
Yep, I'll see if JP makes the same decision in 6, in the same room as Slamu had the decision earlier. I think the same outcome's about to happen.
Yeah, I think so. JP's going back in.
I mean, if this ends up being like silvers or bow, it's a nice find.
Yep.
And with that theme playing, I would groan usually if I were playing. For whatever reason, Kefka's theme is always bad news for me. I've never won with it played.
Uh-oh.
I'm 0-5, even though I like it.
Alright, here comes the book pickup for Slamu. See if he goes to buy those hints immediately. Yes, not gonna be able to retry out of these. Let's see what we got.
There you go.
Classic.
Now we just need the ladder hint in here as well.
Yep. Okay, we don't need a raft.
I'm not going to see Slamu this seed. That's a sad sight. And now we know where his raft is.
Well, okay. Sure.
It's a good troll game. I appreciate it.
Kind of hope he doesn't buy the candle now and go straight to 1 and gets the free red candle. Bomb shop right next to start is always nice.
Oh, there he goes. He did not want that to happen. And here he comes.
Love the whirlwind with the up A in the middle of the whirlwind.
No, that's not your wand. Come on now, Slamu. Settle down. Yeah, JP is where he needs to be to get that ladder. That will help with a couple of the dungeons we were having trouble with. Early Triforce, but you're not leaving to. Just no way. To answer the question, chat, no. There was Sail Not to Save the Princess, so the raft is no good this seed.
I mean, it's not quite as much fun as the seed earlier today, where in the same dungeon was the book and the raft, and in the room before you picked up the raft was the Sail Not to Save the Princess.
My favorite one so far is there was a race, I think, last week where I called the hint shops and I said, wouldn't it be nice if we got like 3 or 4 step across hints? And sure enough, we got 4. 3 at the hint shop, 1 in the dungeon. I think it's Fred's matchup, if I remember correctly.
Only -3, so not so bad, but Slimu does decide to do the gamble there.
Yeah, knows he doesn't have a large secret left, so reasonable enough to go ahead and check. Level 4, going for his raft.
That's interesting. Yeah, I imagine you just get the Triforce here and leave. I mean, there could be another dungeon underneath the recorder, and of course the play a melody can always mean specifically a dig dogger, but I think it's reasonable to assume that the raft is here until proven otherwise. I think we've seen all the things that would not count as Sail Not. So we've seen the letter, we've seen the magic sword. I guess we haven't seen the second hint shop, so there is a non-zero chance there could be a hint shop that wouldn't count for Sail Not.
Yeah,
I don't think I pick up the raft for that.
You pick up the raft if it's on the floor in your way.
Yes,
because it's not going to be a cycle issue.
Yep.
But other than that, no. And Slamu might just do it for the memes if it's on the floor. It's not, though.
It's not going to have a 60% chance at Magic Sword when he comes across it. If he comes across it.
Meanwhile, JP is about to find what he was looking for.
There's the ladder for JP.
Red ring making that much easier. 3 less deaths.
Yeah, I think he's going to immediately go pick up that book. We're going to go around the... I have been told that if you do this optimally, it is a little faster, and that's not optimal anymore. It's a little faster to just do the Lost Woods puzzle instead of going to and doing the screen scroll. There's that raft. Slamu says, nope. I don't think I'd pick it up either at this point. We do have a compass, so he's going to be able to get that Triforce pretty quickly.
JP about to... Yeah, JP about to find out the same thing.
Is 7 the only dungeon we have left? Have we found 7?
Yep, sounds right.
Yeah.
So we're getting way ahead on tries, but
yeah. He needs to get back to level 1. That probably is the next play. Wouldn't surprise me if he does a deep dive into level 8 when he gets there, although might decide to look for 7 instead, either. Either is a good choice. One with that power bracelet, which we have not confirmed is useful yet, and the red candle, which, you know, he just spent a bunch of money for a blue candle, so he's gonna buy arrows. Always like the arrow purchase. The only bad thing for Slamu is if he happens upon the other hint shop, he's not gonna be able to afford it.
Slamu about to get upgraded. Probably not going to be thrilled.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, with the book-wand combination, you could have delayed the candle. It is kind of slow, but you can get most burn bushes with the book-wand combination. Also, I want to say that power bracelet was in that bottom right corner.
Great grumbles on Death Mountain.
80% chance if Slamu runs into that magic sword.
So now the question is, flute Power Bracelet or Bomb Spot or Open Cave for that level 7 in Death Mountain.
Yeah, I think that's all we have left is between the two runners is Death Mountain. And of course, in Mixed Quest, we have those Power Bracelet spots and those the one recorder spot.
Yeah, well, it's guaranteed up there.
Yeah, Death Mountain becomes much more complicated in Mixed Quest.
Yeah, JP got that. That was one of the first hint of level 5.
Ah.
I still don't think we'll see the second hint on JP's end. Well, I guess you might full clear over there looking for the Triforce.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if he takes the same route Slamu did, yeah, that's exactly what'll happen, but we'll see. I want to say the heart was there too, so if he wants to full clear this, and we're still looking for both bow and silvers.
Like the worst case scenario for Slamu is if that hint way up in the northeast says the silvers are in 6.
Yeah, that would not be good.
That would be the only bad hint for that to be for Slamu. Everything else is just whatever. Even if it says the bow's in 7, I mean, or the bow's in 6 even, I mean, that's still not bad because you know it's not 9, so you have to go dig it anyways. You're digging all 8 Triforces.
Yeah, I thought Slamu might have a slightly faster one than JP because of getting that red candle right away, but he hasn't found the map yet. And that power bracelet, he's gonna have to go back in for it. Again, missing bow, missing silvers. You're gonna go finish up a level 1.
I think you gotta be careful if you're JP in this room. I think we're pretty close to the Triforce room. Maybe it was one away.
Yeah, I want to say the Triforce is down and the heart's to the right.
Be an interesting call for JP at his current money situation on the bomb upgrade, with other things you could buy. Feel like JP is going to clear out this entire area if he didn't see the Triforce already.
I believe this is the heart. Power bracelet for Big Slamu.
Yep, a little bit happier about that than the red candle, because it could still be relevant.
And he doesn't, I don't think he's seen the any road, so he doesn't yet know that 3 of them are taken up by any, 3 of them are essentially vanilla. I think level 8 is in one of these burn bushes over here to the right, so I think we're going to see level 8 from Slamu pretty soon. Which probably gets him a red ring, and we'll see what else. JP didn't go very far, because there was at least the possibility of a ladder block. Okay, here's that hint.
Okay, so...
Alright. You are...
I mean, it's relevant for JP. Knows now that 4 is down to a lake spot, so has 4 and 7's location. Knows where 3 is, knows where 8 is in 5, so has every location of a dungeon down to a hinted area.
Also of note, Slamu picked up his 14th heart, so if he could just find that magic sword, which we know is in the forest area, he's going to be able to pick it up. I guess I was wrong on where 8 was, because we're not seeing it yet. But I think he will find, since he doesn't know about that hint about level 7 being in Death Mountain, he's probably going to do all the forest area first, and that's where the magic sword is. Now there's our hint for the white sword item, which we got a long time ago. Do you think JP maybe heads over to find his level 7? Or I guess he knows where 3 is, so he could go back to 3. Could be where he's headed.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised he's clearing these spots. I guess they're technically by a lake, so never mind.
And
The river
Slemu,
spot.
yeah, Slemu on half a heart for quite a while. See where he recorders to. Probably wants to get back to the eastern part of the world. Gonna go to 6. This will get him most of the way there. Gonna get this power bracelet spot while he's at it, which I believe is one of the Any Roads. He's gonna get the Any Road tour.
Yeah, you're gonna die on the Any Road tour, perhaps.
That is a nasty, nasty screen. He does get through it though.
And now finds himself at the third one, is looking for the quad. And no.
It's gonna get him close to these other burn bushes that he wants to get to anyway, so that works out for him. Oh,
the other hit shot.
We can afford 2 of them. Which,
right.
first one doesn't tell JP anything new. There's speaking of level 8. Slemu just found it.
Oh.
Well, that's, pretty much useless. I mean, okay, JP doesn't know that the raft's in 4.
Yeah.
Oh, map under the Gliak, so that works out.
Yep, and predictably, kind of a small 8, I think, based on just how stubborn it was with bomb walls to begin with. And Slimu's gonna be lucky not to get bopped there. Oof.
Yeah, just up A out of this room. This room doesn't drop.
Well, we can refill bombs.
He had 12. I think his max is 14, so I guess he can get back up to 14. Yeah.
To be fair, like, in a room like this, you're not that worried about the time loss. You're just making sure you don't do something dumb.
Fair enough. And we did find level 7. I didn't exactly see where this was, but...
I would call it the connector between west and east. Oh, boomerang.
That's not what you want to find there. So that's a boomerang in 7. Does that put... Hang on. We don't know 6. The bow is either in 6 or 8.
Correct. We don't have enough information to fill it out just yet.
There's red ring for Slemu.
A good old, 26 room level 7, so yeah. 9's gonna be full, pretty much. I can see even where the 7 fits in.
Yep, always fun. Always liked it when we have runners in 7 and 8 at the same time, because it's usually pretty easy to see how they fit together, unlike the smaller dungeons where there's 6 of them. It's not always as easy to figure that out. Could be our other... Ooh, this could be a super room.
I'm just wondering where our bait is. Our bait block.
Could be deep in 8.
Could be a 9.
Could be a 9. See what's in this? Was it a transport? Of course it's a transport. Why would it not be a transport?
Slemu can't really take this though, can he?
Well, I guess got 7 to find.
I guess, but like you're down to 50-50, I think, in the shoes.
Let's see what he does. I would also argue that he's got, with that 14 hearts, there's some incentive to try and find that magic sword. We know it's in this area. He doesn't know that. And then going back into that dungeon becomes much, much easier. But I imagine, I mean, his choices at that point are going to be go back into 8, go back into 6, or go find 7. Now, he needs to do 7 anyway, so he might do that first, and then he has got the recorder to go back to 8 or 6. There's Zelda's room. She's not home. Here's the letter.
That ruined the major chance for a bait block to troll.
I point out the letter because a couple times he's gone into potion shops looking like he was trying to buy one. Doesn't have the letter. Didn't have the letter yet. Does have it now.
Yep. JP, meanwhile, also 1 heart away from max, so I think that's going to be a stop before 9 at minimum to just grab it, or try to grab it, because it's at 80%, it's worth the 40-second time investment, even with 6 being right next door.
And there it is for Slamu.
Yeah, I mean, once you clear these spots, I don't know. I still wonder why we didn't go through 8 a little bit more. I mean, we know the information that 7 is a dud, but...
Yeah, that bomb pickup tells me he's headed towards Death Mountain. We know, of course, that 7 has the wood boomerang. If this weren't an 8 tri-seed, I think you dig the dungeons you know before you go look for the dungeon you don't know. But it is an 8 tri-4 seed, so I think it kind of makes sense to do 7 first. Do the, because you have to get the Triforce anyway. But he's going to waste a lot of time looking at these recorder spots that aren't. The answer is going to buy a blue potion because he can't afford the red.
Hey, he's about to be able to afford nothing.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to afford those hints, but the hints that we got are useless anyway, so.
A couple of our runners will be in big trouble if they had the bow and arrow at this point.
It's recording somewhere. This could be recorded at 5, maybe? To get, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh, I'm going to do this last push block. So Power Bracelet really didn't get us anything today. And JP heading over towards 3.
Yep.
So the nice thing for Slamu, he's going to be able to get between the magic sword and the wand. He's going to be able to just make very quick work of this level 7. So I imagine he may actually get back to 6/8 quicker than JP. JP needs to get through 4. He needs to get through this 3. He's going to get the wand out of here, so that's going to help him. Yep. And we do have enemies in where wand fire, I think, is favorable in this dungeon, as opposed to like Dark Nuts and, well, except the good old Patra, but we don't actually have to kill that. We just need to get through it.
So here's the catch-22 of all this. I think it's going to come down to what item is found first outside of 9. Like, if you find the bow outside of 9 first, you're more than likely to dig 9 with hint value in play.
Yep.
That's the one chance I see for the time difference to kind of be made up big time for JP, is if he digs the other dungeon by chance and that happens to have the silvers.
Yep.
Whereas Slamu's going to have to be rooting for like 2 items immediately in 9 or a silver supply elsewhere hit to turn around. And for all we know, I don't think we've seen a single leave your room, so there could be 1 or 2 in 9.
Could be 3.
I'm trying to think, how many hints did we actually see in 7?
We saw all 3 and 5. 7 has the bomb upgrade, and we didn't see the bomb upgrade, so that's got to be in 7, right? And then there's usually 1 other hint.
Yeah.
Well, there would be. Well, normally it'd be the bait block, but
And JP's actually not that far behind Slamu, because Slamu's going to take a while to get this
yep.
Triforce in 7. And JP, if he's thinking about it, knows that 4 has to be a flute spot. And
Right, specifically is the raft.
specifically has to be level 7 vanilla or level 2 vanilla, I think. And he may have already seen level 2 vanilla.
There's the boomerang for Slamu. Now knows that 7 is a dud, but also knows that he does have to clear this for the Triforce.
Yeah, JP making the decision to go to this lake, which is actually still a forest spot. So never mind, I'm dumb.
He's going for Magic Sword.
Magic Sword also works.
And we'll never know for sure, but it's 13 hearts or less.
This is probably that one seed where it was 10, and Slamu could have had it like 22 minutes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Still not the record, but would have been close to it.
Yeah, that compass is nice, and then you see the map, and you're not nearly as close to the Triforce as you think. But he is going to be able to get there pretty quickly. JP needs to go back through 8.
Well, here we go.
He may stay. Yeah, this is interesting because he may stay in this 8 a little bit longer.
Hey, you gotta clear this. That's gonna get in the map. You can't let it sit there with your combat and defense being so high.
Yep. Totally agree.
Yeah, I think JP is basically guaranteed to know that 4 has his raft at this point. Or it's as close enough to guaranteed as can be.
I think he got a hint that said lurks with the raft, didn't he? In one of the hints he bought?
Yeah, he got the second. That's right. He got the second hint shop.
So he knows the raft is in 4. So his nose is down to this dungeon and level 6. Now, I don't know about you. If I'm Slamu, I'm going back to 8 first because I have a map. Where would you go? 6 or 8? Looking for your bow.
I don't know. Every time I guess what Slamu's going to do, I guess wrong. I give up.
I didn't ask what Slamu's going to do. That's what you would do.
8, but I don't know what Slammer's going to do.
Well, we're about to find out. This is 8. So he's going to join JP in level 8. So no real advantage for either one at this point. JP does still need to find level 4.
Like I spent a while watching Slamu, trying to guess what Slamu would do. I had to watch what he did to figure out what not to do against Caffey, since Caffey does all his races offline, and yeah, it still didn't work out.
Yeah, Chad asking, does JP know where 4 is? He does not, but I think he's gotten a hint for the lake, so he should have it narrowed down pretty decently. Oh, if this is the item.
Oh, we're going back to 6.
We're out. Slamu, you're out. You have a red ring.
I'm not sure if he's remembering. He's forgotten.
Slamu, you have a red ring.
Oh, the bait's way up here. Boo.
Slamu, go to 6. Unfortunately for JP, it looks like he took that transport that was where the Triforce was, and that's going to delay him finding that useless white sword. But yeah, we can fill out the rest of the tracker. That's going to put Bow in 6. It's going to put Silvers and the Magic Boomerang in 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that does give Slamu a definite lead here. Now, 9 can still do things, especially when you have to find Silvers. So JP is by no means out of this yet. But this extra time in level 8 is not helping him, and he still needs to go back to 4, and he's going to have to go back to this 6 just to find the bow.
Man, look how fast that tracker filled it out.
Yeah, we have Ice Blue on the tracking today, doing a wonderful job for their first chime on it. And
JP's I mean, like, he's fine. The bow's in the stair in 6. I'm pretty sure we had a heart container on the floor in 6
Yeah, I think
really
that's
early.
right. Yeah, and Slim was not even checking anything that doesn't have a stair. Hey, there's one of our muggers. We're gonna have to give up a heart. But hey, we have 14 of them. Have one. Have a heart.
Yeah, thankfully Mags was not 14 because JP's still just flying through this 8, so not going to lose a ton of time. But the problem is you need to make up time somehow. In this
Yeah,
8.
exactly.
That's the staircase you already took, so it's either down from here or...
No, this is the white. This.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the heart.
It's the heart. Okay. Here's a stair for Slamu. Is nope. It's the transport. We might have seen the other side of the transport the first time these runners were in here, but I won't swear to that.
Nope, they both had the super room and they both noped it.
Right, we saw it.
Yeah, you saw the other end of it, but we didn't go through it.
Right. Well, we just saw the other end on Slamu's side with the right stair over there.
Assuming it's not segmented.
Yeah, that's not a safe assumption. 6 is a little less inclined to be segmented than some of the smaller dungeons, but that's irrelevant for any individual. See, there's the white sword for JP. Now knows he has to go to 6 to get his bow.
Just gonna take the walk around as opposed to spending a bomb.
And if you're JP, I imagine you go ahead and go look for your bow first. It really, I mean, the bow could potentially help you in level 4. We know it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's with magical sword and wand. If you're killing Pole's voice, you're slaughtering him.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing that would stop him would be a Goma, which we know isn't theirs. But I could still see going back to 6 first. I don't think it matters though.
Yep.
There's the bow for Slamu. He'll be headed to 9. Which is right here. Conveniently. And JP is going to do 4 first, but that's going to be fine.
So how trolly is this 9 is really the question. Because JP is arguably about 6-7 minutes behind on the pace. We've seen some bad 9s, so this could be one of those Hall of Fame 9s that really puts the brakes on Slamu.
Your war.
Womp womp. Well, that'll help some. Hey, well, Truant out there was hoping for something like that and got what he wanted. And JP, I think, is just going straight for the Triforce, has assumed correctly what's going on.
Yeah, he knows this is going to be his bow.
Although it has to stop taking these bops here. Gotta get across it.
Yeah, red ring. These enemies will still do a half a heart of damage. So you move with the red ring. So you gotta be a little bit more careful here.
Yeah, now we're gonna kill him. There we go.
Given that we have these blue dark nuts in level 9, it's really nice that we do have the magic sword. Sadly, virus do not go down to the magic sword. Takes away one of our potential bomb droppers. There's that roar again. Silver's right next to Ganon?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Usually I was all ready to say nope. But here we are. The Flamu Red Ring Magic Sword does have a potion if he needs it.
I think we have to go back, go left, go up through a chute, and then go right, maybe. Unless we couldn't bomb up before in that room. Yep. So bomb up again. Watch this not bomb. That'd be funny. I think JP's getting close to the bow. The problem is he's running a little short on time.
Yeah, I don't think we've found Zelda yet, but, you know, we've got Ganon, we've got the silvers. Didn't need to use a potion, very nice. Not a tough room, though. Always nice when you don't have to fight Ganon in a water room.
Yeah. Now the question is, how well hidden is Zelda? Because that's the last piece of the puzzle. We don't have it yet.
Map would be nice. Also, Slimu does need to keep an eye on that health. Does still have the potion, which, you know, having the really nice Ganon fight helped out with that.
Yeah, I do feel like Slimu's seen enough of this side of the dungeon to where I don't know that it would be a big deal to just go back to start and explore, but...
Yeah.
I feel like JP's about to get the bow.
Of course, every time you see that shutter door, you hope it's gonna pop. There's the bow for JP. There's another single shutter door that did not pop.
Well, with a bomb in the middle, I mean, we knew that one wasn't gonna work. Alright, so just about what I thought the time difference would be on entry is the case. Still think it's going to require like a magic stair scenario, though. Slamu's got a lot of this dungeon at this point. And he's not going to have a magic staircase, so...
Don't die. Just don't die. Well, I mean, he should be fine, but don't die in a fire. Just being careful. There we go. Get your GGs in chat. Big Slamu finishing up with an official race time of 1:08.22. going to be 5-1 going into the brackets. Well done, Big Slamu. GG's. JP is gonna have to find those silvers as well. Does get? I don't. Did we see that hint?
Yep. It was right next to the chute.
Of course. And we are joined by Big Slamu. GG's.
Hey, thank you. That was definitely a seed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we full cleared everything, so you know.
I mean, technically, I missed a heart in 8 and a heart in somewhere.
No, full cleared all the non-heart items then.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I completely forgot about 6. I had completely forgotten 6 existed, and I'm like, oh, okay. I found the what was it? I found the boomerang in 7.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, so the bow's in 8. Let me go to 8 and get the bow.
Yep.
Pick up the white sword. Took me a minute. I'm like, wait a second. That was my last item, and it took me a second to figure out the bow in 6. The bow is actually pretty decently hidden in 6 too.
Yeah,
so
pretty deep.
Nice thing is that there's almost no way you're doing that on your first dive anyway. So
no, not likely.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, it felt pretty good. I mean, 1 was calling my name to come back, right? Like, I get the sword, I get over there, I do 6, I do 2, I do 5, I do 3, and I'm like, I still haven't gone back and done 1 yet. Like, I probably should get back there eventually, but it worked out, and I felt bad spending all that money on those hints. I wanted to save scum, but I really didn't want to waste, 45 seconds on the FA walk back. I don't know if the second set of hints would have helped at all, but
we only saw 2 of them, and they would not have helped you at that point. There was they had the red ring in 8, which you had already. It had the raft in 4, which you already knew and already had seen. And JP didn't have enough money for the 3rd hint, so who knows?
Gotcha.
Who knows
I thought it was going to be really funny if the mags was on one of the 2 tiles, one of the 2 raft tiles. But I mean, 99% of the time I'm grabbing that raft, but it's go time at this point. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like you had a sail knot, so the only thing I guess the hints were the only thing that could have been at that point.
Yeah, hints are mags.
Right, you hadn't seen mags yet. So,
no,
yeah, we already knew where mags
I was so late to candle. I had 4 dungeons done before I bought a candle.
How'd you like the red candle right after you finally bought the new one?
That's fine. I mean, I knew that if I picked one of those doors and won, it was going to be the wrong door. Because that's just always the case.
Right.
So I'm just like, I'll come back. And
well, you had no weapons anyway, so it made sense.
Yeah. I mean, red candle is what, 1 room deeper? I guess it required combat, but
yeah, it was a bunch of likes, which even with just the wood sword are super slow. By the time you got there, you had wand plus wand fire, and I always say, as much as I would still not pick up a otherwise useless book, there are some enemies that wand fire is great for, and I think likes are landmows are top of the list, but likes are like maybe second. I don't know.
Yeah, I felt like I was doing a pretty decent job of throwing my wand back and forth and doubling up on damage where possible. It felt like my combat was actually pretty smooth for all said and done, especially for not having ring for the first 90% of the seed. So
yep. Yeah, JP had that red ring a lot earlier than you did. He happened into level 8 without the ladder and only did a few rooms, but he did manage to pick up the red ring. So he had a bit of that defensive advantage, but I think that was mitigated for you by the fact that you'd gotten to the ladder so much earlier.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm leaving that 2 with 2 rooms left to go, right? I knew there was an old man up top because it didn't bomb down.
Right.
So I figured it was time to basically force my way through those blue lamolas. I think 4 of my 5 deaths were on those lamolas, which I thought was...
Yep.
I mean, it reminds me of my week 1 against Mercs where I spent like 18 minutes in a 6, but I'm
Yep.
I'm like 3 3 or 4 deaths running into Lamolas is in exchange for a guaranteed item is probably worth it. So I made the sunk cost and just went for it. And funny thing is, the ladder didn't feel that great. I guess you never know how great the ladder is once you have it. I don't know how many ladder block dungeons there were.
Well, you're probably like me. You stop paying attention once people have the ladder. So
yeah, I don't care. I'm just plowing through rooms at that point.
It is a nice early item to have. And was there any thought as you were taking those deaths to because your start spot wasn't too far from a fairy fountain, so you could have up-aid, gotten the full refill, and then recorded back. Any thought to that, or are you just going to plow through it one way or the other?
No, I figure. I mean, I should be able to get through that in a couple of shots. It probably is about the same amount of time as a fairy fountain dig, so.
Fair enough. And you did, so it worked out.
Yeah, I thought the 9 was really interesting too, with this really long forced U-turn path, and then the super fun double bomb shoot room that I almost skipped.
JP's in right now.
Yeah, I was so close to. I had things in my head of like I know where I had a couple of closed doors, and I'm like I know where they are, and but even before that, I'm like okay, I'm gonna go. I was gonna head back to what I thought was a stair, and it took me a second. I'm like, wait a second, this was the shoot room, and I could go up, and yeah, it worked.
Yeah, and of course we never saw a map. JP still hasn't found a map, so. Maps in level 9.
No, maps don't exist in 9. That was changed in 4.3 or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, JP has kind of trolled himself here.
Oh, the trap! Did he get bopped by a trap and he didn't get the full press on the?
Nah, he's in Ganon's.
Oh, he never pushed it at all.
Oh. Ugh.
He just walked through the room and said, "I'm out." Because he couldn't bomb.
He's got the hint though?
Yep.
Yeah, he has the hint.
Wow.
He's got down to that room.
I'd push blocks that don't even push if I had that hint. No, honestly, if you told me 6 weeks ago that I would be 5-1 in the Z1R tournament and eliminated from the Dragon Warrior tournament, I'd tell you you're crazy. I'd be like, you got me mixed up with Shaddy or something. And, holy cow, this is an interesting one, especially for when I sit back and think about like the list of runners that I threw hands against for the last 6 weeks. It's a little insane. Like, Thorwolf, Cantaloupe, Caffey, Brewers, Mercs, and Antlers. Right, any one of those could be a semifinal matchup. Right, not me in the semifinals, but any two of those people could play a semifinal matchup against the other, and somehow I went 5-1 against them with only Caffey, who's got the extra speed boost on this season, beating me. So
yeah, I've already thrown shade this commentary at him.
That's good. Everybody needs to be throwing shade at Caffey. But yeah, this is a, based on. Who knows how strict the schedule actually works, but based on the way it looked, I'm basically a 2 or a 3 seed somehow, which is insane.
Yeah, it's all strength of schedule stuff and then whatever the next tiebreaker is. But like, you're definitely gonna be up there. Is it at most gonna be 2 6-0s? So that puts you way up at the top.
Yeah, and I had the top strength of schedule for all the 5-1s or 4-1s at the start of the week. So,
and that shouldn't change. It shouldn't change, right? Because you're playing somebody with 4 wins. So yeah. I imagine 3 or 4 makes sense.
And I'm trusting my former opponents to also win, which, given their track record, they're very likely to.
Fair enough.
But no, yeah, it was good. It feels good to be good at Zelda 1 for once. I've always made some noise in tournaments, but I've never thought that I could actually compete in the later rounds, and to come in as a 3 seed is kind of, or 3 or 4 or 5, wherever in the top 10 is just insane. I've already opened up my my victory fresca, and we are 3/4 of the way through that, so
Nice.
I promised one to Brewers if he won, but he's gonna have to wait on that one.
Alright, let's see if he remembers this time. Let's push that block. That's all it stands between JP and getting there. Just gotta go clipping up through this room. Oh.
Now maybe he comes back.
Turn around.
Oh. No.
You know this doesn't work, I think.
Yeah, he's done this before. I'm pretty sure he's bombed that spot before as well.
Yeah, he's bombed all of these. He's just rebombing because he believes that they have to be the answer.
Mm-hmm. Also, Slim, how nice was it to be in level 9 with Magic Sword, with all the dark nuts in this?
Oh yeah, that felt great. I mean, I would have survived my way through with a wand, but yeah, I'm not not complaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another thing that sped you up somewhat because you got that wand. I mean, not super early, but earlier enough, right? So.
Yeah, because I dug the 3. I mean, it was my 4th Triforce, but like I hadn't reset to go burn all the burn bushes. I think only 8 was a burn bush.
That sounds
so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably just marked that room off as nothing.
I think if you're gonna push the second quest 8 shoot room, you probably go back to that.
I think he got just so enamored with the roar of Ganon trying to see if that was the access point they didn't think about the room he's in. And that's led to a little bit of a roundabout.
Yeah, I pre-marked it on my tracker. I'm like, oh, perfect. Silvers are here, and Ganon is immediately north of me, and I'm just gonna bomb right through and be happy. And then I had to erase that off the tracker and find the real way to Ganon, unfortunately.
I mean, in the end, it probably means almost nothing. Like, just looking at the tiebreaker scenarios, I mean, at most it's what, like a slot that you lose in like a tie. So, it's going to mean almost nothing unless it changes you from, like, someone that you have, like, some confidence in beating to, like, the one that doesn't win after Wolf or Angel or one of the 3 and 3s.
Well, and you're never gonna know, right? Like,
yeah.
It's not like you can sit there and game the. You can't sit there and game the tiebreakers and say, oh well, I think this person's gonna do this and this person's gonna. That's not gonna happen. So you just gotta play what you can play, and
yep.
Yeah.
So a map might help if we the old map.
Well, it's supposedly is never to spawn in Zelda's room again, so we should be able to find it eventually.
I think I've seen it in this tournament in Zelda's room, I think.
I've seen the compass in Zelda's room multiple times in this tournament.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's ever going away because people just love the kidnap guards the compass in.
If only there was, like, you know, a group of people that pulled a bunch of seeds that could tell you whether or not
I know,
the map ever spawned in Zelda's room.
I bet we could check that out. I have seen it in Zelda's room, so I'm just trying to. I thought I saw one this tournament season, but maybe I'm just confusing it with some older races. But we all know the compass can be there because of the hint that'll tell you that. Kidnap guards the compass. I wonder if he thinks it's a pointer error at this point, which I believe that. I mean, Fred has definitely fixed that. We have not seen that issue in quite a while. And the one time we did, he fixed it immediately, and it was a silly BR where it was all the floor drops. It was the minor item shuffle. So silvers on the floor apparently messed with the pointer.
Yeah, I mean, I know we don't believe in it, but like the last 4 seeds that I played that were not beatable, legitimately were all rolled by the same person. And then we did a lot. To be fair, when we did that, we were actually testing to work out the kinks. And no person better than that person, who shall not be named, to roll. But that was back in the day where it was heart shuffle getting turned on, with the ladder being in like a circle moat or other shenanigans.
I love it when ladders in the circle mount.
I mean,
more recent bug I think that we found was another pointer error with the staircase going into it and just freezing the game.
I mean, if it was Link to the Past, they have what's called beatable only, where your boots could be sitting there on a torch. No boots today. So we could do beatable only, where if the ladder's in the moat room, you just know you never need a ladder. I'm not actually suggesting that. It'd be kind of silly in this game, I think.
Yeah, there's just not enough progression things outside of just a few items. You need I would say we would need double the item pool for that to be.
Yeah, I think
useful.
that sounds right.
Sounds like you should add Metroid.
No.
I mean, somebody else did that.
I mean, I tried the Z1M1 for a little while, but I had to wait for somebody to clean out his fish tank for 20 minutes, and that was the enemy.
There's a story there.
Fury is not a fan of the multi-world with friends.
No, I mean, we played the Link to the Past multi-world a little bit. I'm just having flashbacks about the 25-minute fish tank that was.
Oh wow, that staircase is really trolly.
Yeah.
It's in the northeast, technically. Man, this 9 can be brutal. I'm assuming I had a little bit of a lead in a 9 on him.
Oh yeah, you had. I said
7.
I think. Yeah, you had quite a bit of a lead on him.
All right. Yeah, obviously I did some work in some of these levels that was not required. Full clearing 3 and all that, but...
When did you enter 9? That'll tell me the answer.
I entered 9 at... I got my 8th Triforce at 55:42. I don't have an enter 9 because I went back to 6. So probably...
5-minute dig, roughly, of 6 to find the bow?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I killed Ganon at 106:17.
Yeah, because JP entered 9 roughly at 107. I want to say you're about the hour mark, so I'd say roughly 6-7 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I had
sounds about right.
I had Ganon down. I was on my way to Zelda. Okay.
Yeah, you gave him about enough time to almost get to the Bloomerang before it
Gotcha.
got done.
Yeah, I'm looking at JP's stream. I'm looking at his tracker, and there's just X's in the area where he needs to be. And he's only got one room left that's even a northwest room, and it's one that's probably not on the map.
Go up. Go right up.
Yeah. Oh, that room did push. That was the one I wanted to go to push before I bombed in Ganon. Oh.
I think the timer at 30 minutes is no longer relevant, so hopefully he just can find his way there. I still think it's almost a relevant timer anyways.
Yeah. No,
It is relevant in 2 and 4, perhaps.
2 and 4, and maybe the massive group of 3 and 3s. But
Because like in 2 and 4, I think how many of them are making it? Like a couple.
It's
three to 4
three?
was.
Is it 3 of them?
It's 3.
Depends on the result of a 2-3.
Yeah, there's a pair up.
There isn't. Is there a pair down on the 2?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Because of the pair up in the 5-0-4-1.
Right.
That forced the pair up.
Yeah, it's
further down.
There's no 2-3-1-4 pair down. That's what I was thinking.
Correct, which wouldn't have really had a bearing on.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 3 or 4, and honestly, I didn't do all the math because I just honestly didn't look. I didn't watch the wheel, so I didn't have time last night to look at it. But honestly, that slot is basically isolated for like 6 or 7 people at this point.
I mean, honestly, if I had entered the tournament and gone 2 and 4, it would put me in the lower bracket where I have a chance to win. I need beating Caffey in the first round.
Well, I get to dodge Caffey for a couple of rounds here. That's the big thing, right? Like,
yep.
Give me the 3 seed, and that way I don't have to play Caffey till the finals.
There you go.
And since there's no way I'm making the finals, that's perfect. I'll never have to play Caffey again.
Here we are.
No, have a heart, don't die. Oh,
Oof.
this has to feel absolutely horrendous.
I mean, traps in a room like that are just wrong. Oh,
I can't remember the last time I saw traps in that room either, right? That's just not. I mean, it happens,
yeah, it's
right?
not common. It does happen, but it's not super common.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about how many of those diagonal block rooms are going to be spawned, and then how many of the triple trap room is going to spawn. The chances that they stack on top of each other after that is going to be pretty low.
I don't think there's any logic around. Don't put these enemies in these types of rooms, other than bosses.
I mean, Fred has worked a little bit with that because of the Oko terror that is. I know he didn't have it fully solved and play at your own risk still, but he did, I think, do a little bit of work on that.
So traps won't spawn in a guaranteed damage room. Well, they still spawn in the parentheses minus.
I didn't say he got them all. I was like, he did some work back in the day, just because.
I want to say, yeah, the traps won't spawn in a. We learned recently traps won't spawn in a Wallmaster room. I think that's one that actually is. I've never seen it, and I've heard him say that won't happen. So. There's other things that are not supposed to happen that do happen. Like, you're not supposed to have Virus as your only bomb dropper if they roll up, but I've absolutely seen that happen. Alright, I think he has seen Zelda, so this isn't gonna take much longer.
I think this one takes him like 3 or 4 rooms away. Nope, this is even further away, but still walkable.
He's got plenty of health, having used that potion, so he'll be fine.
Well, a couple of routes too, right? I came in from the top. I don't know if he's doing the top or the bottom route here, but
I don't think you hadn't found her yet, though. He has found her.
No, I had to go search it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a decent chunk of 9, but I definitely didn't. I mean, I probably did 35 rooms here. It looks like the whole northeast, and then a couple of branches.
Yeah, that map's probably under that manhandle list. It's one of the few rooms he hasn't killed. There we go. There's Zelda.
Yeah, the map would not have been in there this time because that single block.
Oh, you're right.
That's true.
I didn't see the block.
I was very careful walking in there on half a heart.
I don't know, you're stabbing Zelda. Like, why is he not firing arrows?
It's a smart thing to do.
I think I even said don't die in a fire, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm not bogey, so.
Oh, there's a laundry list. I got like 3 clips of... Anyways. We are joined by JP. GG's.
GG's.
GG.
GG, JP.
GG. I'm guessing based on your time, I wouldn't have won even if I didn't screw up 9.
You were 6.5 to 7.5 minutes behind, and he was about to locate Zelda when you found the magic boomerang.
Okay. So yeah, even if I don't screw up that 9, I still, at least that makes me feel a little better. A little bit.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that you heard the Ganon War, you bombed, walked up, and didn't notice that room was a staircase room, and that was unfortunately just the room that had the silvers this time.
Yeah, I thought maybe something was screwed up because I know sometimes those hints can get slightly off if something happens with the dungeon. I was sitting there trying to figure out what I did, and I was actually I spent a lot of time just looking for Zelda because of that. I'm like, I gotta find Zelda anyway. Let's try to find her while I try to figure out what I did.
Sure.
And yeah,
I think
in that room, because you were in that room and you didn't push it. Did you just? I mean, you saw the traps. Maybe you didn't just miss that it was also the diagonal block.
yeah. I think I saw the traps. I didn't think about the diagonal block, and I think it was just that plus hearing Ganon and yeah. Not to mention that room was a pain to get back to because of the vertical chute.
Yep, that's very true.
Well, I mean, the consolation here is that there are going to be big names in the 3-3 group, the 4-2 group, the 5-1 group, and the 6-0, of course. So even if you had, coming first in this one, there's no guarantee that you don't get someone that's like notoriously good at the game and just got bad luck and some seeds. So this one's more just a free roll just to see what you can do against Slamu, and I think you had a pretty good time of the siege. It's just the big killer, I think, in the end was probably level 8 on the redive. Slamu went back in there and just happened to find the staircase and missed the entire top half. And even with Magical Sword, I think that cost you 3 or 4 minutes. So it was enough of a swing to like kind of put the nail in the coffin for you, unfortunately.
Yeah, like everything kind of conspired against me in that one. Basically, full cleared looking for bow, full cleared looking for silvers. Mistracked and 9. Like, that's, I mean, I know this is more practice than anything, but this is not the way I want to go into bracket. It's like, I don't want to go into bracket with, like, a mistake that, like, it's, it's like, you get beat, that's one thing. And I know I did get beat. I mean, like, even if I don't make this track, it sounds like Slam has got me anyway. So,
Well, a couple ways that you can think about. First of all, you had a wonderful first 4 weeks of the tournament, 4-0. I know you were worried going into this tournament, and you showed that you can play. So that those first 4 weeks were really good for you. And the other takeaway is make the mistake this week, not in brackets. So
yeah, that's true. I guess I got a bigger thing right now is I need to go into brackets on a bit more of a high. Like this is not what I wanted to go into brackets on, but I got it out of the way early this week too, so I get at least a week to prep, week to forget about this, a week to get some more practice in. I was actually looking at like kind of how the bracket's going to break out, and it looks like basically everybody 4 and 2 and better is going to get paired up with somebody 3 and 3 in the first round. I think
that sounds right.
The pair up, pair down might put like 2 4 and 2s together, but that's it. So, and I doubt I'll be that 4-2 versus virtual, but even if I am, it may not matter that much, honestly.
Well, I did my best to help your tiebreakers.
Yeah. Like I said, I know I'm sounding frustrated right now. I am kind of just frustrated with how that one played out.
Well, be frustrated for a few hours tonight, then go to bed, wake up in the morning, wash it off, and get back to work. It's kind of the way mentally you got to approach it, I think. And as long as you get a seed or two in there that rolls good, then you'll have a little bit more confidence boost going into brackets.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think this one just wasn't my day. So
I'm trying to think. Of what else got you. I know what helped you, and that was a blue land mole. That guy helped you out by a good minute and a half, 2 minutes.
I'm guessing.
Well, I mean, you were fine on it. It was
Yeah.
a Guillermo in level 2 to get to the ladder that Slamu had a little bit of trouble with. You had the red ring by the time you got there. He did not.
Yeah, that thing wanted my had my number a couple of times over. So
Oh yeah, I think it even almost got me when I walked through it, but the red ring, obviously, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are other little things like Slamu got to the wand earlier than you did, so had a little bit easier combat in places like level 1s. There's a big difference between killing like legs with wand fire or instead of a wood sword.
Yeah. I wanted to go get Mags earlier, but I just couldn't figure out a way to route it, check in reasonably.
Yeah, we don't know how many it was. You picked it up at 13, and Slamu picked it up at 14, so your guess is as good as ours. Is it what the actual number is?
Yeah, I think a lot of the time difference was just routing difference. It wasn't like errors that specifically put somebody behind. It was more or less just which direction you went ended up being the payday. So I don't think there was any way for you to go to level 2 quicker based on the route. I mean, maybe an overworld death that doesn't happen. I don't know. I mean, it's all just little things though. So or things that you can't control because it's just routing choices.
Yep, I would agree with that assessment.
So, is what it is, I would say, and you just look forward to brackets. We'll see what happens there. It's kind of the way it's going to be for a lot of us this week who are facing someone tough. We've all got some interesting matchups this week, I'm sure.
A lot of scary players in this going to be in this bracket. So,
yeah.
Any final thoughts before we start looking to what tomorrow's schedule has? Because I know there's at least 8 on there for now, maybe more by the time I look.
Just a big thank you to all you guys for putting this on, right? Fury, Tracy, and the comms, Smilefire's on the restream side, and all of SG, and Ice Blue. Huge thank you for tracking this thing. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, same. Thanks to SpeedGaming, thanks to Fury and Tracy, thanks to Ice Blue for learning tracking to do this. Yeah. Thank you, and I'll GG against them, and I'll guess we'll see you all in brackets.
All right. Good luck to both of you next week.
Looking ahead, we do have a 3 o'clock race Eastern tomorrow between Antlers and Rick over on SpeedGaming 2. That will be probably find somebody that calls that one. So we'll probably see it on the air. We got some 7 o'clock matchups between Bommy and Rando Runner and Thurwolf and Angel FM, as well as 9 o'clock races with Scytown Ice Blue, Sis Crusher, Sea Falcon, Dig Shake Equations. So those 3 pairs are all going to face off. All of those names are definitely ones to watch out for. And then you have, I think, Potato Pony and Dr. J fighting for potentially their upper bracket lives at this point. I don't know what their tiebreakers are offhand, but definitely want to win to get that 3rd win and get in there. And then that's at 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock, it's Yumi and Neo going at it, both 3 and 2, so maybe looking to improve their position just a little bit. Although, again, how much does it really matter?
Stacked night of racing. Don't know how many of those races get on there. I do see that Scytha and Ice Blue are going to be on SpeedGaming 2. Super excited for that one because we got a Homer J Smash and Fried Teeth on the call for that one. I haven't heard Homer call a race in a while, so I'm super excited to watch that one. But yeah, going to be lots of races tomorrow. Lots of races all week. It's going to be a fun week.
Yep, I would say we're probably going to get at least 5 or 6 of them on the air, but we'll find out as we get to it tomorrow. This one was also a blast. Again, it took just trying to solve the puzzle. And one runner made it there just a couple of minutes before the other, and that was enough to make it happen. So, fun times again, Tracy. Thanks again to Ice Blue. And let's head out so that we can wake up and start calling or playing in some more Zelda 1 Randomizer tournament action.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Fury. Thank you, Ice Blue. And good night, everybody. We'll see you at the next races.